On all other nights we eat bread, but on this night we eat matzah. Why is this night different from all other nights?
Good question.
The Passover Seder. Once a year, Jewish people all around the world review the story of how God delivered the Jews from slavery into freedom, and they read it from this book, the Haggadah. Now, there are a lot of different versions of the Haggadah, but this one is considered the standard, the Maxwell House Haggadah. Wait a second. How did a coffee company get into the business of making Haggadahs? Let me explain. You see, on Passover, most Jewish people have a tradition of not eating bread or wheat, grains, other bread-like ingredients, such as legumes or beans, a category known as kitniot. Now, in the early 1900s, there was a little confusion in the Jewish community as to whether or not coffee beans, like other beans, were considered kitniot. However, coffee beans aren't really beans, they're fruit. To clarify this misconception, Maxwell House partnered with Joseph Jacobs Advertising, who then worked with rabbis to get a special certification for the holidays, declaring that coffee is in fact kosher for Passover. But then a few years later, Joseph Jacobs had a pretty neat idea. They thought that Maxwell House could build a strong brand among the Jewish demographic if they gave more than just coffee around the holidays. They could give a Haggadah.
Avadim hayinu. We were slaves to Pharaoh in Egypt, and God took us out. But if God didn't take our forefathers out, then we would still be slaves today. That's why we continue to tell the story of the Exodus, to never forget that God saved us, just like He saved our forefathers.
Since its beginning, Maxwell House has given away free copies of the Haggadah with purchases of their coffee. This generous distribution model has allowed the book to emerge as the gold standard of Haggadahs.
Whoever does not explain the three symbols at the Passover Seder has not fulfilled the Seder.
Pesach is the sacrificial offering to God for taking us out of slavery.
The matzah reminds us of how quickly we left Egypt, that we didn't have time to let the dough rise.
And maror reminds us of the bitterness of slavery.
Okay, great. Let's eat.
Oh, thank you. In 2011, Joseph Jacobs and Maxwell House did a complete overhaul of the Haggadah to make it more accessible. They updated the translation and illustration to make the Seder more inviting to a modern reader. Since its first publication in 1932, over 55 million copies of the Haggadah have been printed. And even today, through its long-standing partnership with Joseph Jacobs, Maxwell House continues to produce over 1 million copies annually, making Maxwell House coffee a household name among the Jewish people. Am I right? I can eat some more of this.